right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So if this is only your second time to my channel, like as an example, if you found my channel as a result of the Diego and Josh video that I just did, you're going to enjoy this one too, because I'm going to respond to some comments from that video. Also, we're going to talk about the real reason that Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards' fight got postponed. You guys might not know the real reason, but I'm going to tell you. That's what I do, okay? So, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with the real reason that this fight got postponed, because I think it's fair that everybody gets to find this out. Basically, I did a bunch of research, I looked into this deeply, and I found out that Leon Edwards is the most unlucky motherfucker on earth. That's what it ended up being. It was like, you know, cross the T, XY, times pi equals most unlucky fucking guy on earth. Unbelievable the run of luck this guy has. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. This guy, like, it's like, and not only is it just unlucky, it looks like things keep coming together for him. All right, like, listen to this, dude. Like, listen to this guy wins like his sixth straight fight. Right, he's on cloud nine. He's like, all right, you know, in my hometown, I just did it, son. In my hometown. Now everybody's gonna have to start learning my name, right? They're gonna start learning my name. And in his mind, he's like, this is the come up. This is the come up right now. He goes backstage and he's like, yeah, he's feeling himself. You know, Masvidal's doing an interview and he's like, yeah, man, maybe we can run it. Maybe we can run it, dog. And Masvidal's like, oh yeah, you're right. Everybody is gonna know your name as the guy that I beat up backstage. So boom. Right out of the gate. So right out of the gate, his first public performance that everybody finds out about is overshadowed by him getting beat up by the future biggest star of the sport, bare-fisted, where, you know, like, that's not good luck, man. Like, that's not good luck. He didn't even probably do anything, dude. Masvidal is known for punching people, right? Like, that's kind of his brand. I've noticed since he became like a multimillionaire, he's not punching so many people anymore, though, you know? Like, as soon as you have something to lose, all of a sudden, you know, you're a little bit more reserved with punching random people in the face. You know, when you got 50 grand in the bank, you're like, sue me, guy, sue me. It's not hard to hide 50 grand, okay? If you got 7 million in the bank, it's pretty hard to hide that money. Let's say, hypothetically, someone sued you. By the way, I know how some people in the comments, we're going to get to that, by the way. We're going to get to these comments of the haters, because there's a lot of haters. Dude, when you have a personality like mine, it's unbelievable. You know, obviously for these videos, I kind of turn it up a little bit, like kind of a lot, actually. But nonetheless, when you do this, it's like 80% of people think you're funny, and then like 20%, maybe 10% are like, this guy's a little much. And then 10% of people are like, fuck this guy, bro. He's so full of himself. Burr, 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 burr. So we're going to get to that, right? We're going to get to that. But one thing that they really hate is they hate when I give them advice, you know? Like when I say things like, if you want a celebrity to respect you, don't ask for a fucking picture, okay? Maybe it would have been better if I did it like this instead of me saying like, hey, you know, I'm good at doing bout. Maybe I should have just talked to you like a fucking child, okay? So now I'll do that. Hey, if you ever want a celebrity to respect you, don't take a picture with them or ask them for an autograph. Look at that. Now you can just take it in and then go fuck yourself, okay? Anyway, so that only goes for people who talk shit in the comments with, oh, this guy fucking thinks he's the shit, but he's just like Joshua Fabia. Oh yeah, I'm just like Joshua Fabia. You think Josh has ever strung this many coherent, funny sentences together in his life? And I'm much taller than him. Anywho, but yeah, when it comes to people getting sued who have a lot of money, I'm about to educate you motherfuckers. I know, it's crazy. I know things about things, you know? Like as an example, remember when 50 Cent filed bankruptcy and every dumb shit idiot in the world was like, Jesus, 50 Cent used to have $100 million. Now he doesn't have 2 quarters to rub together. That's why his name's 50 Cent. I literally would watch that. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, you guys are journalists that are writing this. Like, I mean, I get it. I guess journalists maybe don't have a lot of experience with money or people who have money, but like, are you kidding me? You think 50 Cent is actually broke? Okay, did you do any research on the situation? It's like, oh, so what? So he's filing bankruptcy. Why? Oh, he just lost a $17 million lawsuit and then a $6 million lawsuit on top of that. So he has to pay $23 million of net money out to people he lost, lawsuits to. So these people say that he stole the headphones design, and then Rick Ross's ex sued him for whatever because he released a sex tape of her. And then he's gonna, so if he can't say I'm broke, bankrupt, he's gonna have to write a check, 2 checks equaling $23 million. Okay. When I watched him file bankruptcy, I was like, this genius is gonna get away with this. Like, this guy's gonna get away with this. If he can actually keep it together and not spaz out, with the ego thing of all the morons actually believing that he's broke, he's going to get away with this. And he did, okay? So anybody who ever really believed that 50 Cent was bankrupt, come on, man, okay? Let me tell you how that went. And then, we're going to tangent here because now we're into, I know, like, my delivery kind of pisses people off, but if you really actually listen, I'm schooling motherfuckers on stuff, okay? So think about this, okay? 50 Cent. He's made probably by that time $200 million in his career, right? Maybe more. I have no idea. At least 200 though, just because he made 100 just on the vitamin water deal. Okay, so let's say he's made $200 million. Okay, all of a sudden he loses 2 gigantic lawsuits. You think that guy wants to cut $23 million to enemies of his? Of course not. So, I'm bankrupt. He hides his money, like he's probably been hiding his money as soon as he heard about all these things, hides his money, says he's bankrupt, gets done. Literally the minute that the bankruptcy is discharged, he signs $100 million deal with Stars. Like, look at that, literally instantaneously, at least in the press, hey, $100 million development deal for 50 Cent. Oh my God, look, he can show all of his money. Look, he's rich again. It's almost like he pulled a fast one. Obviously. And then, I remember too, right after I got discharged, he's like, hey, I made $13 million on Bitcoin. It's like, Jesus. Because he has to be able to show his money again, right? So he pretended like he's bankrupt, so he didn't have to pay $23 million. And then as soon as that shit was discharged, he's a Bitcoin millionaire. And Stars gave him $100 million that they probably never even paid him because he's just paying himself his own money. Look at that. So anyway, that's a little educational tangent that we just went on. But yeah, bottom line is Leon Edwards has the worst luck of all time. Like, the worst luck ever, dude. So you got that. He gets beat up by Masvidal. Then he, wins, 5 more fights in a row. He still has no hype. Finally, he's going to fight Tyron Woodley. And then a global pandemic breaks out. He gets locked in his country. But then they're like, here's a consolation prize. You can have this super hot prospect, Khamzat Chimaev, huge risk for you, but one of you guys is coming out a superstar. That fight had the highest stakes of like any fight I can think of, dude, because you have super hype versus top 3 ranking, right? So you're like, one of these guys is coming out with both, right? One of these guys, they're going in with top 3 ranking, going in with hype. One of them's coming out with both. And then Khamzat Chimaev, gets knocked down with COVID, and he's like, he's having an incredibly challenging time recovering. So look, like, he's got bad luck, man. He's got incredibly bad luck, and he just keeps getting postponed. And then finally they're like, all right, here, now you can have Bilal Muhammad. He's like, all right, he looks incredible. He looks incredible in the first round. And then eye poke, boom, no contest or whatever. You're like, oh my God, man, this guy can't catch a break. Then he gets Nate Diaz. So basically the same scenario as what he had with Khamzat Chimaev, super hype, super high rank. One of these guys, dude, if Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards, he might get a title shot immediately. It's huge risk. Leon Edwards is amazing. And Leon Edwards will get all the hype if he beats Nate Diaz. It's brilliant, right? And then Nate Diaz gets injured, Now, one guy, if he gets injured, it's legit Nate Diaz, okay? Like, there's no way he's pulling out of a fight if it's not legit. I don't think. And I'll tell you this, his jiu-jitsu coach, Cesar Gracie, is also my jiu-jitsu coach and my daughter's jiu-jitsu coach. So hypothetically, I would never say anything negative about Nate no matter what. I wouldn't anyway, but I really wouldn't because of that fact. Anyway, but yeah, so now maybe we just move it right along. That fight's going to be worth the wait. So now we're going to do this really fun thing. This is just the best, man. So we're going to go through the comments. Dude, there are like 1,000 comments on this video that I did about Joshua Fabia and Diego Sanchez. Let me actually say one thing real quick. Hold on. Whoop. Now let me actually talk like a normal person, okay? So I watched that video back. You know, I get carried away on camera, right? Like, and I realized I was like, that felt a little disrespectful towards Diego, which is not what I intended at all. Like, when I say I have nothing but respect for people who get in the octagon, that is 100% true. I have such utter disdain for people who it's honestly it's not even like the cult leader thing. It's not even like people who are self-centered as much as it's this delusional self-centeredness that some people have, that when you look at them, you're like, I don't even know how to describe it, but Josh Fabia is that. It's like, it's not that, you know what it is? If a person is a predator and they know they're a predator, like they actually know it, they're the worst, but like, at least you're like, at least this guy knows what he is. People who are actually like completely predatory and oblivious to the fact that that's what they are, I can't stand that. Like that's one of those things where a lot of people might think like it makes them less terrible because at least there's something wrong with them and they don't realize that they're like sociopathic or whatever. Where like a sociopath is just like, yeah, I'm an evil motherfucker. I'm gonna get over on this guy. I'm gonna get mine and I'm gonna trick him. You're kind of like, well, you're evil, but at least you know what you are, versus, you know, whatever. And Fabia is that thing where I don't even think he realizes that he's predatory. I think he's so deeply self-centered that he actually is unaware of the like damage that he causes around him, or he doesn't even see it as damage. Like he actually because what he's doing is he's doing all this stuff that benefits him by isolating Diego and then, you know, juicing him for whatever, which is good for him. But he's so oblivious, he actually probably seriously believes that he's doing something good for Diego. Like he probably has actually convinced himself of that. And I hate that trait. Like I try not to say I hate people, because I really don't actually hate anyone. I have this deep-seated like longing for everyone to like me, you know? And it's like to the point where even people I know are just utterly garbage, if I'm in the same room as them and I know that they're like, fuck this guy, I'm kind of like, I bet I could get him to like me. Even if I hate him, you know, I hate again. So like, I'm not gonna like spew vomit. Like, I hate that guy. I do hate that trait. And I find those people utterly repulsive. So my point is, when making fun of him, it kind of sounded disrespectful towards Diego, which is not really my intent. Also, anyone who looked at these comments would think the only thing I talked about in that entire video was whether or not Diego and this guy are lovers. That was like a very minute point of the video. In case you guys, if you actually watch the video, I talked about that for literally probably 90 total seconds of a 31-minute video. Okay. But that's all anyone took from it. Like if you go look at like which comments I reacted to, I skipped every single one that was like, yeah, these guys are about that. I literally just didn't even respond. I'm not engaging in that. That wasn't the point of the video. But there were lots of people that had lots of shit to say about me. So we're gonna get into this, dude. So a guy that manages my social media, my dude Will, I told him one time, I was like, dude, can you like gather up a bunch of negative comments so I can compile them and then react to them on camera? And he tried, and he couldn't find any. Like, he was just like, the ones he sent me were like, there was nothing to respond to, you know? I have such an overwhelmingly positive reaction to my videos for the most part, except for the Kamaru Usman one when I said Gilbert Burns is going to beat him, but those all just said I was like an idiot for picking him. These are much better. These are like personal, or at least they're like trying to be personal. So we're going to rock and roll on these, right? We're going to go ahead and rock and roll on these. I really hope that, God, I have to skip so many of the ones that are about them being gay, and I really don't like that. I don't like that that was like what everybody got out of that, dude. I'm not saying they're gay. I was pointing out why everyone is considering maybe. And obviously the psychological vice grip that this dude has on Diego makes that a relevant question. You know, like, is that what's going on? Because this is kind of weird, right? Okay, so this guy says, okay, honestly, I actually thought the Fabia basketball thing kind of made sense. Oh, man, that's funny, dude. The guy, okay, here, I do have to comment on this because this thing, multiple people said this to me, And clearly I didn't do a good job of making my point. Okay, so this guy says, the guy just wants his medical history. He's entitled to. If what you're saying is true, then why do hospitals keep your records forever? You can't pass opinion off by calling people idiots. Okay, no. That's not what I was saying. Of course he should have his medical history, and of course he should get his old images. The point I was making is that when Josh said the reason he wanted them is so that Diego wouldn't have to buy new images when he went to a doctor in the future. Why should he have to pay for new imaging? Like, there's all this imaging over here. Why would he have to pay for new imaging? And my point is, there's no doctor that has a license in the United States that's going to recommend treatment of any kind to a person based on old imaging that they didn't take themselves, that they don't know when it was, especially when it's a fighter who's getting beaten for a living, okay? Like, they're going to need new images. They're going to have to pay for new images no matter what. I'm not saying he shouldn't get his images. Of course he should, dude. But my point was that when Joshua cooked that up, first of all, why would Joshua be requesting them, okay? Like, I think even if my wife asked for my medical records, they might not even be able to give them. I mean, maybe they can. But some dude's manager, hey, can you give me his medical records? You can't request someone's medical records like that unless they give you power of attorney. You know what? That's not impossible that he's done that. I would not put that past, like, you know, the realm of possibility. But nonetheless, okay, the same guy, this guy was really mad. Not a lot of coaches have pedigrees. That's not true. That's not true. You think that there's a lot of good MMA coaches that don't have fight pedigrees? Like, there's a ton of good MMA coaches who have no history of fighting, like no serious pedigrees. The fact that you don't know about fighting and judging these things as a legit comment. What? Who the fuck said I didn't know about fighting? That is definitely not what I said. What I said is my ground game is weak, and I would never pretend to be something that I'm not on the ground. I get worked by guys that are really good at jiu-jitsu. Worked, okay? Worked. That is not the same thing as saying I don't know about fighting. Oh man, this guy commented a lot. What if the UFC is already tired of Diego and his weird ways and wanted a way out? This would make the UFC wrong for not carrying through with the contract, or they're just tired of Fabian. Okay. The first thing the guy said actually kind of made sense. What are you talking about? They paid him his full contract. This was his last fight anyway. Okay. So what actually happened is what I said in the video, because I researched it. You're just like, so who's speculating now, guy? Good God. I mean, come on. Man, just nothing but people talking about, you know, oh my God. Hey, this guy goes, dude, Jason Fabi is right. I was a 4'6" guard in the 6th grade. I shot 87% from 3-point range. I made 482 foul shots in a row and ran out of time in the gym. I grew to 5'2" by my junior year in high school. I didn't make a shot at tryouts and went 2 for 10 from the free throw line, and I didn't make the team. Okay, so what's my response to that? Ready? You did not shoot 87% from 3-point range when you were 4'6", unless you're on some, like, actually just no matter what. I could let you shoot when you're whatever age in middle school. I could let you shoot on, like, my little kid's hoop, and you ain't shooting 87% if you're taking more than 30 shots, my dude. So that's a cute story, but it's not true. I mean, come on, dude. This guy says, whoever disliked this video is probably also the type of person that would follow a herd of sheep off a cliff. I totally agree with that. That I agree with. Come on. There's all these people that said that I was just like Fabia. See a similarity here. That's obviously, but man, where's... oh, here we go. Yo, Jesse. You should stop saying your gift is making relationships with people or reading people in every single video you post. It makes you look like a dick. No one cares if you're good at reading people or not. Really? Then why would they watch my videos? Since that's the only thing I ever talk about for the most part, you know? And again, if you know that I say it in all my videos, it means you watch all my videos, which means you do care. So don't pretend you don't. His name is Make Colby's Jaw Great Again. That's pretty good. Come on, dude. Dude, people have their right to their medical data. Man, I should have done this before. This is bad preparation because there's so many people who are super pissed about that video. But, oh, here we go. Acting nefariously. So wait, you don't think Sanchez or other longtime fighters have oh man. God damn it. This guy, I mean, yeah, of course they have lasting effects from their career. The UFC, NFL, NBA should be responsible for medical costs stemming from their athletes' careers. That's absurd. That's absurd, okay? That's absurd. This little section was supposed to kind of be like a joke where I was going to be funny, but the UFC, NFL, and NBA should be responsible for medical costs stemming from their athletes' careers. That's absurd. It's absurd. What they should be responsible for is educating people on what the risks are, and then people can make their own decisions about whether to take the risks or not. Did the UFC make Diego fight for 20 years and do 50 fights? No. Okay, they're offering you money for the fights, and you are either going to opt in or opt out. It's your responsibility to take care of your own health. Like, obviously, it's high risk. Obviously. Okay? Just because people make short-term decisions doesn't make it the responsibility of the organization that enabled them to make those decisions to take care of them forever. I hate thinking like that, man. Like, seriously, in case you guys can't, this is actually my real face. This is what I actually think, okay? I don't like that way of thinking at all. I don't agree with it at all, okay? Look, if the UFC does something knowingly that is more dangerous for a fighter than what they are agreeing to, that is different, okay? So hypothetically, like when Mark Hunt found out that they knew Brock Lesnar was juiced up for the New Year's show and they let him fight anyway, Mark Hunt has a legitimate beef. I mean, Brock Lesnar's 300 pounds of iron brick killing machine. The rules set forth by the UFC are no one can use performance enhancers. And they knew that Brock was on juice and they let him fight him anyway. That's super dangerous, okay? That's different, okay? That's a different deal. The UFC, again, I don't like to say anything negative about the organization, especially about Dana on here, but I will say I don't disagree that the UFC should have been responsible for paying out on that one, which they did, as far as I understand it. If what if the UFC found out that some guy had a steel plate on his foot? Whatever. This is a terrible example, but you know what I'm saying? Like something else that's not baked into the cake when the person agrees to the event. If it's the terms that they agree to, it's on the person to make the decision themselves. Personal responsibility, okay? Personal responsibility, okay? That's what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to make decisions for ourselves. Like, if someone misleads you, that should be illegal. They should go to jail, or they should have to pay out the damages, okay? But to say that every organization is responsible for every individual it's ridiculous. It's not sustainable, number one, and it doesn't make any sense. The images excuse does make sense. This is the same guy. Besides, it's his images. He's entitled to them. Doctors do want sometimes. Yes, I know we went over that. Okay, we went over that. If Diego would have asked for him, it would have been fine, and he should have them. He would have had access to him anyway. Of course, you no matter who pays the doctor, you get access to your own your own images. I would think. I mean, listen, if I'm wrong about this, and the UFC has a history of not sharing medical, information with guys. I mean, if their previous meetings are not part of their public, medical records that they can subpoena, that would be very surprising to me. You think UFC has some private doctors that they don't take records like every other doctor when they do your medical records? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe we simply don't understand the genius that is Fabian. Could it be possible that the road to Diego's enlightenment is, oh man, okay. I almost broke my own rule. You can guess where that was going, right? I thought I was reading a real comment. I told you what I'm not going to do. I'm not reading comments about. That was a silly way to get into it. That was pretty funny though. Okay, let's see. This guy called me the YouTube Joshua Fabian. Dude, I agree, man. We have, if I wasn't much taller, and I was a little bit better looking, so I would, I don't know. If I had a little bit more wisdom about the world, I could be just like him. This dude's a douche. You know what, bud? If you're going to call people douche, why don't you learn how to spell it, you fucking idiot? Good God. Who doesn't know how to spell douche? That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Yeah, this guy said, hysterical. I almost pissed myself. But what an absolute clown Fabian is. On the other hand, I love Diego, and so I'm sad for him. Me too. I'm serious. I do regret some of the ways that I kind of framed that, but I didn't mean to do it like that for Diego. Literally, all I wanted to do was tell a funny story about the movie theater thing that we went to, and then kind of give some context to why he might be vulnerable to a creep like Josh. I have nothing but respect for Diego. He's a savage, dude. He's a complete badass. He beat the shit out of me. You could line up 10 of me. Seriously, I don't know. Like, if he had to beat, like, sequentially, right? So it's like, all right, get in there, fight until one of you guys is done, then we'll bring in the next one. It might take 10 of me before I beat him. It could take 10, you know? Actually, shit, it might take more than that if he took me to the ground, because, goddamn, I would be utterly fucking helpless. So, you know, I would have to plan with the rest of them, like, all right, look, I'm going to just kick him as hard as I can. Then I'm going to get taken down. He's going to submit me, okay? But I'm going to kick him real fucking hard. So let's just go for his front leg and let's just keep on kicking him, okay? Because, yeah, anyway, I would have to collaborate with the other 10 of me because we would have little to no chance whatsoever, even with 10 of us, although no one can eat 10 of my leg kicks. That I fucking promise you. Look at, hey, now you guys can get in the comments and go, oh yeah, it's all these guys' fucking leg kicks. Fuck you. Go to my TikTok and find out. I've got a video of me kicking it. As a matter of fact, here, you guys want to see it? Here. You guys, I mean, I know we're going in the comments anyway, you know? Oh, this fucking, oh yeah, I'm sure your leg kicks are super fucking hard. I'm sure they're super fucking hard. Yeah. How many of those you want to eat, bud? You want to eat a lot of them? Yeah, I'll just let that run for a second. Sup, dude? Anyway, so that's weird. I might actually just edit that out. This guy said the whole homophobe thing was killing me. Man, I'm sorry. I should have done better prep. I mean, hopefully people who are super bored will have just turned it off by now. I don't like boring people. I don't like doing it. I guess some people think you need to be a fight analyst to talk about MMA. If you know a little Jiu Jitsu and are a fan of the sport, you typically know what's going on. Don't listen to these dumbasses. Oh, I thought this guy was talking shit. I totally agree, Isaac Brown. I totally agree. And I actually, what's hilarious, I actually know a lot of Jiu Jitsu from watching my daughter, who is much better than me. But, yeah, I'm just humble because I don't say I'm good at things that I'm not. I'm not good at Jiu Jitsu because generally, you would consider me, like, in a gym like the one that I've gone to, a bait dog, you know? Look big, and then I make people feel good about themselves. You know, they watch me kick the bag, they're like, fuck, and then I get on the mat, and they're like, look, and I submitted him really, really easily. I'm like, yeah, good for you. Fuck you. Anyway, everybody's really fucking good at the gym, though. This moron wanna be famous so bad. Oh, yeah? Jose Palma? Do I? Well, why, though? Ask yourself why, dude. Why? So, correct. I do want to be famous for this channel, but why? You think because I want to run around the street and go, hi, yep, it's really me. It's really me. Sure, I'll sign that for you. Or do you think I want to make money? Okay, I want to make money, son. You have any idea how much money people make who have a huge following on YouTube? I didn't know either. Okay, I'll tell you guys a little story. We're off the deep end now, right? So it's probably enough for the comments anyway. I'll tell you a little story about the genesis of this fucking project, okay? So I posted a video on Instagram, right? Someone came to me, they wanted to buy the rights for it, blah, blah, blah. I gave it, I agreed, gave them the rights. They started selling it, right? Like, so they would sell it to social media companies. I ended up making $9,000 and this thing went completely viral, okay? It's a video of me and my daughter where I got her to stop crying by pretending to cry. It's like, wait, my turn. Got her to stop crying. Literally, like, over on Facebook, it got like a combined, literally like 60 million views, okay? And I made $9,000. So I got to thinking, I was like, I know people make money on YouTube, but like how much money they make. So I looked it up and so I learned for the first time, if you get a video with like 1 million views, you make like $6,000. I was like, wait, that's how much money these motherfuckers are making? $6,000 for 1 million views? Oh my gosh. So that day I started my own TikTok. Like I was like, maybe I could build on this new platform. Like maybe I could take advantage of this new platform and then leverage that, to build on YouTube. So that was, about 14 months ago when I started on TikTok. Yeah, that's 281,000 so far in 14 months. But it's a lot harder to build on YouTube. So, yeah. But, it is what it is. It's slow, but it'll snowball because, listen, I can be objective about my own content. I watch my own shit all the time and I compare it to other people's and it's top notch. Not because it's its own little niche, you know? You got the Weasel and guys like that who do exceptional breakdowns. The MMA Guru does a great job too. He's got a shit camera. He needs to upgrade his camera, but he's great with breakdowns. He's super consistent. The Weasel, stud. Dan Hardy, incredible at breakdowns, right? Luke Thomas, excellent at breakdowns. And then you got Chael, who's kind of more into like the narratives and the stories, more in the breakdowns, and it's fucking Chael and he's amazing. I'm more like Chael, except, you know, I don't know. I'm like a mix between a stand-up comic and Chael Sonnen. Something like that, you know? Less credibility in the octagon, a little bit. But, you know, maybe funnier takes. I feel like me and Chael would get along real well. Anyway, so, yeah, so that's why. You're right, I do want to be famous. And that's why, so I can make money, son. What do you think this is? You think I'm fucking 14 years old? Or, you know, think I'm a 22-year-old? I'm like, geez, I just want some of that YouTube pussy. That's what I'm about, man. I want some of that YouTube pussy. Come on. I want that dough. Anyway, I've been talking for too long. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, tell your friends. Peace.